So here we're going to find the volume of a cylinder. So to find the volume of a cylinder, we're going to use this formula. Volume equals pi r squared times the height. So the only thing we have to do is we have to plug in the information. So for number one here, we know we have a radius of 5 inches and a height of 13 inches. So we fill in what we know. So volume equals 3.14 times the radius squared would be 25 because the radius is 5, so 5 times 5 is 25. And then we multiply that by the height, which is 13. So the volume is equal to 3.14 times 25 times 13. And that equals 1020.5. So 1020.5, and volume is going to be inches cubed. So this is the volume for number one. Okay. Number two, this one's a little bit different in the sense that I give you the volume, I give you the radius, but we're looking for the height. Again, we're going to start with the formula, volume equals pi r squared times the height, and we're going to plug in all the information we know. In this case, we know 561 equals 3.14 times the radius squared would be 9 times the height, which we don't know. So here, I'm going to simplify this right side of the equation. So we have 561 is equal to, we simplify it just by multiplying them together. So 3.14 times 9 is equal to 28.26. So I have 28.26 h. Now my goal is to get the h by itself to find out what the height is, so I'm going to divide both sides by 28.26. Divide by 28.26, and I wind up with h is equal to, so 561 divided by 28.26 is equal to, let's say, 19.9. So it'll be equal to 19.9. All right, and this will be 19.9 centimeters. So the answer is 19.9 centimeters. Last one is pretty similar, but instead of giving you the radius, I gave you the height. Again, we're starting with the formula, pi r squared times the height. We fill in what we know. So we have 821 equals 3.14 times the radius squared times the height is 8. And once again, we're going to simplify that right side of the equation. We have 3.14. So we have 3.14 times 8. And that's going to give us 25.12. So this is 25.12 r squared. Again, my goal is to get the r by itself, so we'll divide both sides by 25.12. And I wind up with r squared is equal to, let's do 821 divided by 25.12, and that gives us, we'll say 32.7. So it's 32.7. But now that's not the answer, because remember, I'm looking for the radius. I want to know what the radius is, not the radius squared. So what I'm going to do is, to make this a radius, I'm just going to go ahead and find the square root of it. All right, so the square root of r squared is just r. Now if I find the square root on the right side, I got to find the square root on the left side. So 32.7, we'll find the square root of that. That gives us 5.7. So 5.7. So the radius is equal to 5.7. All right, so the radius is equal to 5.7 millimeters.